Okay, thank you all for joining. And I believe that by the time our time goes on, others too will join. We also seek your permission to record this session so that we can make reference to it in future. Thank you and welcome once again to this section. Today we'll be looking at the year 2024. Cybersecurity predictions. What do we have in stock? What does 2024 have in stock for cybersecurity professionals, for the industries, for human beings, for mankind in general? So today I have with me Fumilola, as well as Zachariah. So they will be telling us what they have seen from their own crystal ball, what 2024 holds for our nation, Nigeria, for the continent, Africa, as well as for the world in general. So permit me to welcome to you all our panelists who will be giving us insight into the ever-changing landscape of threats, opportunities, not just threats alone. There are a whole lot of opportunities that are open to each and every one of us. How do we position ourselves to be part and parcel of those who take advantage of these opportunities? So, gentlemen and ladies, welcome Olufunmilola and Zachariah. Before we go on, Fumilola, can you just please give us a brief introduction about yourself?
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for this opportunity to talk to everybody this afternoon. My name is Fumilola Udumuboni. I've been in cybersecurity for a very long time. I'm currently a partner within the Deloitte Cyber Services Unit in Deloitte, and it's a pleasure to be here. I'm very excited to be sharing some of insights. It's just something that came out. We in Deloitte, we always do a yearly cybersecurity outlook, and it's focused on the Nigeria cybersecurity space. And just earlier this week, we published our forecasts for this year. It's quite an interesting one, and for us, it was something that we went through several times before we could say, okay, these are what the things we know. There are a lot of things happening within the cyber security space, especially in Nigeria, and having to narrow it down was a real a lot of back and forth among the team and all that. But finally, we're able to come to what we think are the major things that will shape the cybersecurity space in Nigeria for the next 12 months. And it will be really exciting to discuss some of them today. But thank you very much for the invitation and for this opportunity. Hello, Zachariah. Nice to see you once again. And I'm sure we'll enjoy ourselves discussing. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. Zachariah, please. Let's also have your introduction and give us a bit background.
Sure. All right, thank you, the organizer. Thank you, ISISCA, Lagos. And happy to see everybody. I'm happy to see you, Fumi, Dola. Yeah, so as we all are aware, the cybersecurity is the technology is evolving every day, and businesses are leveraging on technology. You're gonna notice that some businesses, before they make use of technology, they have to think twice. But today, most businesses are empowered by technology, ranges from telecommunication businesses, manufacturing businesses, even the financial institutions. So that's the reason why we have a lot of investors and angel investors to power the technology because they realize that technology is the main thing. Even our educational system, edtech is rising and fintech is rising. And even in the agricultural space, we now begin to have agri-tech. To come to think of it, business is like the heart of this modern. If you want to really do well in business, you need to leverage on technology as the heart. And as people are leveraging on technology, the bad guys too, they are also leveraging on technology. So gonna do this that in the financial industry, we used to have armed robbers, times to take them like 6 hours before they rob a bank, and they might come with about 50 of them, and the possibility of getting caught is very high. But today, the rises of cyber criminals, especially cyber fraud, is on the escalation, especially this in Nigeria. So, and they do cut away with a whole lot of money today. We've seen millions of naira, millions of dollars being lost within a couple of minutes. But in those days, you can only get away with the maximum money in the pot. The maximum money remaining in the pot, if 6 million, 10 million. But today, it's easier for cyber criminals if organization did not put what they didn't put in place. And a lot of things are happening. This time last year, one of the leading manufacturing companies in the United Kingdom was granted for about a week, and they produced top. You know what you need for a manufacturing company to be granted? They have a distributed denial of service. One of my friends happened to be the CISO, and I could remember him moving around at skater and all of that. So that's to that extent to what cyber criminals can do. They can grant the government, but the governments of nowadays are being powered by technology, the national grid system. Though in this part of the world, we are not yet fully there, but those are the kind of the things that will be happening. That will not more of distributed denial of services across the industry, and a lot of more of ransomware attacks and all of that. So today, everybody leverage on technology, the bad guys to leverage on technology to get their job. And the funnest part of it, they are also adopting the advanced technology, the artificial intelligence, and all of that. So that's just the introductory part of it, and I hope that this session will be very interesting. I'm happy to see you, Frank, and my other colleagues and everybody. I'm happy to see you too. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for that deep insight. We really appreciate that. That shows that we have a whole lot to gain from this section. I like the fact that when you said that it's not just the IT professionals that are leveraging on technology, even the bad guys too, they seems to be ahead. They too are leveraging on this technology to carry out their exploits. Thank you so much. For me, the first question goes to you, as I say, ladies first. So permit me to ask this question. What are the 3 or 2 significant cybersecurity that you anticipate for the year 2024? How do you think that this trend impacts different industries?
Okay, thank you very much for that. I think that everybody at this point of the year will be looking at what do we need to see, what do we need to expect this year, and I would encourage us to go and look at the outlook that we just. But just to talk about just like 2 or 3 of them, the first one that we feel that okay would really shape is the fact that a lot of people are going into the cloud. And because we have more critical systems running on the cloud, and we also have critical systems running on-prem, there will be a need to have an integration between the security monitoring systems for the cloud and on-prem. It's just like we work with several clients, and what we see is that yes, they have controls on-prem, but the controls in the cloud are not as strong. Even if they have a security operations center, the assets on the cloud are not talking to their security operations center, so they are like in a silo on their own. And with the criticality of the assets that are going on cloud, some financial institutions are even beginning to run their core financial applications from the cloud. So there's a need to have that integrated solution between the cloud and the on-prem solution so that we can be able to have one single pane of glass, one single view. Another thing, we know the economy in Nigeria has been going not very good for the past couple of months, and it's not news, but it's going to affect us in two different areas that we're seeing. The first area is in terms of people being more motivated to go into cybercrime or go into cyber fraud because they want to make a living. Things are not happening as they're supposed to. What they planned are not happening. We saw a rise in that. Last quarter of 2023 was very, very an active season for cyber criminals, and it would be justified. Christmas is coming. They want to go to the village. They want to be able to have a dirty December, and they don't have money. So in terms of cyber attacks that happened in the financial institutions and financial industry, it was very, very heightened. And we saw a number of very big financial institutions being hit by cyber attacks. So that is the first angle. The second angle is for SMEs and organizations that are a little smaller. There will be the temptation to reduce spend in cybersecurity. We know that most of the tools, most of the technology are dollar denominated. And with the way our currency is going, people would not be encouraged to actually continue paying for those licenses and those tools. So a lot of organizations would start cutting back on cyber spend, and that puts us as information security professionals in a precarious situation, and even as CISOs, because we don't have as much budget as we used to. We are told that you need to be more efficient, you need to use what you have and all that, and that would be very, very difficult. So the cyber criminals are more motivated to attack us, and we don't have enough money to spend. So that's a very dicey situation. And the last thing I just want to talk about is around something that seems to be like a buzzword, and that's zero trust. Up till now, it has been a buzzword. Zero trust, implement zero trust, and all that. But from now on, implementing zero trust will no longer be a buzzword. It will be something that if you don't do it, it will be the difference between your company going down and your company staying alive. From some of the cyber incidents which we investigated last year, we've seen that a lot of the incidents had to do with probably the lack of micro-segmentation on the network, the lack of visibility, or the giving too much access to service accounts, to privileged users, not implementing enough security controls around users. And that is where zero trust on that. Never trust, always verify. And so it's something that as security professionals, we need to look into keenly this year, because we're seeing that there's a need for us to start taking it serious. When we're talking about zero trust, let us start taking it serious. Let us start talking about micro-segmentation. Let us start making our networks very, very difficult for people to just move through and walk around without any restriction. So those are just the top three. I'll just, if there are any other questions, I can take them.
Okay, thank you very much. I believe you did justice to that. I like the fact the word you use, never trust, always verify. I think that should be one of the things cyber security professionals really need to keep close to our heart. We should always verify. It doesn't matter how true or how believing the evidence might be. Thank you. Yeah. Next we go to Zachariah. So my question to you, Zachariah, now is what advice do you think that we can give to individuals or businesses to improve their overall cybersecurity posture?
All right. Yeah. Thank you, Frank, and thank you for me. So, for me, from my own point of view, I think the advice that businesses we need to take cybersecurity very seriously. I like the fact that when FB said that the bad guys are highly motivated, and if you look at what is happening in the industry, because of instability, especially in our currency, and most of these cybersecurity toolings, we get them we get it from out of the country, foreign current currency. So the bad guys are highly motivated, but we seems to be not so as motivated because of the. So I think my advice is that we need to, no matter the challenges, we need to keep on as a business executive. We need to increase the budget on cybersecurity, and also need to also make sure that people are well trained, especially both the customers, because when it comes to cybersecurity, we all have our roles to play as a cybersecurity professional. Even the customers, the clients need to play their role. We need to the most we need to make sure that our information security awareness system is top notch and cut across every level. So that we should come up with kind of a awareness, information security awareness to the customers, depending on the customer, the kind of customer that we are having, because at times when it comes to privacy, you need to guide there's some, for example, your credentials need to be guided so seriously. We've all seen what is happening, especially last year, and what's happening. Quite a number of people are being phished, and so many people are falling to phishing attack. And the bad guys, what they are doing now, they are leveraging on the AI, artificial intelligence, to conduct a massive phishing campaign. So that means that as a business, we also need to embrace the use of such technology, because the bad guys are leveraging on AI, and with what is also happening, even for the penetration testing, for the hacking of systems, the bad guys are leveraging on advanced technology. They are leveraging on artificial intelligence. They are leveraging on bots. So like what's happening, we have for the past 1 year now, we've been having more bot attacks, so they are leveraging on machine learning. So as a business, as a cybersecurity professional, we also need to make sure that we get our hands dirty with all this advanced technology. We need to also look at what's happening, and how those technology works. And if you also look at the blockchain technology, the very bad guys are also leveraging on that. So we also need to make sure that we understand this technology, because you cannot protect the technology you don't understand. You need to make sure that we get used to this technology, and also come up with how to leverage those technology to combat the cyber attacks. And also we also need to improve more on our on the visibility, because you cannot protect what you don't have visibility upon. So what that means is that we need to improve more on our detection engineering. So we need to go beyond the normal days, having the 24/7 SOC security operations center. We need to go beyond the traditional SOC. We need to see how we can automate our detection process. We need to leverage more on the automation, how to get detection engineering, how to automate how to automate our compliance process, but more importantly, the detection, because our ability for you to be able to see ability for it to be able to see before to see the IOC on time before it's before it leads to breaches. So we need to leverage more on automation because the people on the other side, they leverage on automation, they automate their tasks and we're able to get a whole lot done, and they leverage on all the modern tooling. So if the bad guys are leveraging on technology, they're automating it, they get their work done, and they are getting it done faster. And we want to do it the traditional way. We may not be able to keep up with them. And if you have more breaches, and if it's not taken, the business might come. And this if it's not taken, some business might also crumble because of this attack. So I think we need to leverage more on technology, leverage more on automation, sharpen up our automation skills, especially in the area of detection engineering. Also leverage on AI, especially on all the tooling that we're using. You can leverage on AI for your search, you can leverage on AI for your security operations and orchestration. So you can leverage on the machine learning capability. So we need to look at all those next generation firewalling, next generation same solution, not just the traditional stuff. But I don't want to mention any particular vendor and OEM, but I think we need to focus more on how to leverage the technology and automation to block the cyber criminals. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. The word automation, we cannot overemphasize that enough. Visibility, like you said, is everything. You cannot protect what you don't know. You also need to know your assets, where they are, where they reside, and what threats could possibly affect them. With this in mind, you'll be able to have a very good cybersecurity strategy. Thank you very much for that. Okay, for me, back to you. We also want to hear more insightful comment from your own angle. For the audience, please be patient. Definitely, we are going to have questions from you. In the meantime, you can drop your questions on the chat box. We are going to take them. We have panelists that are very willing to take your questions. My question to you for me is, we all know what AI is. There have been so many talk that AI one day will take all our jobs. I don't know how true that is. But I know that AI is a two-edged sword. It can be used for good. It can equally be used for evil. It's just like a knife. My question now is, organizations that are adopting AI, are they doing that properly? What are some strategies, some processes that organization can adopt so that they can harness or use AI more productively and securely their place of work?
Okay, that's a very good question, especially with now that people are talking about ChatGPT and there are even other tools that can do a lot, short of AI helping us breathe. Well, I'm not really of the school of thought that AI will take our jobs. And why I say that is because even with the advent of AI, there are new jobs that are being created. So yes, AI is a disruption. It will disrupt the status quo, disrupt what we have been comfortable with. But it's just like the book that goes and says, "Who moved my cheese?" When things have been disrupted, you also need to disrupt yourself so that you can be able to ride on the winds of change and actually make an impact. In terms of what organizations need to do in order to leverage AI very well, I believe in always starting with a strategy and a governance framework. So you have to have a governance framework around AI. How are you using it within your organization? What are the boundary conditions for using it? Are using it as meeting assistance? Are using it for research purposes? Are you going to be using it to respond to emails automatically? What do you want to use it for? It starts from there. So within an organization, you need to specify what you want to use AI for. Another thing is to specify what controls are you going to put around data privacy and protection, because AI inherently uses a lot of data. So in order to be an expert in one area or the other, you have to be able to ingest a lot of data. The program needs to ingest a lot of data. So what are the privacy controls, security controls that you need to put around the AI infrastructure such that the data is not leaked? People are not able to access the data because the AI system is using it. So those are part of the things you need to look at. Also, training. You need to train your people on the use of AI. Now, there are many open source AI tools, but a lot of people may not really get the best from those tools because they don't know how to use those tools. There are techniques you use to use those tools. For example, if you're using ChatGPT, there's something they call chat engineering. So you have to be able to feed it with the right amount of information that you need in order to get the right amount of information that you want. So, so you need to train people on the use of the AI technology, the good use of the AI technology. And of course, whenever you deploy any AI solution, you can't leave it unattended or unmonitored. So you need to be able to monitor the use of that solution so that you can detect whether there are areas where people are using it in a malicious way, and you're able to intervene quickly. So you need to be able to monitor the usage, monitor the performance, and ensure that it's being used in the right way. And the final thing I'm going to talk about is change management. If you are trying to deploy AI within an organization, the first thing may be that people would be resistant. They won't want to use it. They will talk about how it won't work, it won't help them because of fear. So effective change management is actually very important to be able to say, okay, this is going to help you to do your existing job. It's not taking away your job. It's going to help you enhance what you are doing so that you're able to do a lot within a shorter time frame. So those are just some of the things that organizations need to look at when they're looking at deploying an AI-based solution.
Thank you. It's very brilliant. Okay, Zach, right. My another question is, when you compare the activity that happened in 2023, do you see any significant shifts in the focus of threat actors as we head into, or as we are in 2024, as regard their target attack, the attack method, and vulnerabilities?
Yes. Can you hear me? Okay, right. So yes, there's a major shift. If you look at it, I may mention earlier on that the technology evolved, and before now, there wasn't anything like ChatGPT. I think 2000 ChatGPT came into place 2022, right? And then we also have other engines that people can leverage on. So, and the funnest part of it and the ChatGPT exposes us to a whole lot of stuff, especially the what can be done, what can be done. So I see a major shift in the way the cyber attackers will leverage on the artificial intelligence, because before now people thought that artificial intelligence is a big data. You need to go and you need to learn some sort of algorithm, some mathematical algorithm before you can be a data engineer. No? Yes, we have the various aspects, but with what is happening now, you can leverage on the various API to you don't need to be a master in hacking. For example, gone are those days that before you can hack an application, you need to understand the nitty-gritty of the applications. You need to master the art of those tools and all of that. You need to learn some scripting language. You also need to be able to edit the existing scripting language. But with the advent of a different engine, you can leverage on all this engine like such as ChatGPT. So if you've forgotten a particular script, maybe let's pretend that you want to develop a payload, or you want to launch a payload, or launch an attack, you can leverage on it. Just have the fundamentals. You don't need to know everything, because I've played with this ChatGPT, and actually in doing some penetration testing, internal penetration testing. At times, if you get stuck, you can quickly just go. If you have some basic ideas, you don't need to. So if you leverage on all this technology, the time that you spend maybe in doing some research for you to be able to conduct maybe a penetration testing, as the leverage on ChatGPT has made it easier for you. You don't need to spend a whole lot of time to do some research. And the bad guys too, to leverage on this technology to launch an attack, because there are a lot of things that you can use this thing for, not just only for research. I learned that some universities they are kicking against the use of ChatGPT for essentially for writing of articles and all of that. It's an offense. It's even more. It's even worse than you plagiarizing. So it's very serious. But the very bad guys are leveraging on the artificial intelligence. They are leveraging on various APIs, because today is much more easier for you to launch an attack. Just have the basic idea. Because I could remember several years ago when I started my career as a pen tester, you have to learn so many things. You have to, at times you get stuck, you spend some days, some hours before you go to get through. But with the advent of various technology, various artificial intelligence engine, if you get stuck, just have an idea of what you want to do, know how to write it, and know how to manipulate your questions. You get immediate results on depending on your target. And so I think the attack vectors, the approach, the techniques are getting more sophisticated, much more than what used to be in 2023. The techniques, the tactics are getting more sophisticated because of the sophistication in technology, and it's even getting much more easier to conduct some procedure, maybe red team operation exercising. There are a lot of frameworks that are out there. I remember, I think there's some few days down the line, a particular university in Canada engaged me that I should help them with some content on IoT hacking and all of that. I could remember that my first IoT hacking took me almost several hours before I was able to hack into the. So, but when they told me that okay, they needed like kind of I should prepare the lab for them, I was able to do this, even though my major primary assignments, I do a lot of stuff. I do more of strategy, more of governance. When I settled down, within an hour, I was able to come up with a very robust lab on IoT lab, leveraging on the different technology. And it doesn't take me time again because of just imagine if a bad guys have an invention in mind, maybe have a healthcare industry in mind, or have a particular bank in mind. So it doesn't take them a time to come up with a very robust attacking strategy because of all this technology. So to me, offensive security is much more easier than it used to be before. And so all that means that we need to be very, very more careful, and also do more investments on detection engineering, as I've earlier said, know how to leverage on technology to counter this attack. So there are more tactics. People are using AI for phishing attack. People are using AI for bot attack. People are also leveraging on AI for malware. So for you to simulate a malware these days, a malware that will never be detected by traditional. Today we don't talk about anti-malware again. We talk about the EDR. But today it's much more easier for you to evade the EDR because for recent, I also stumbled across the latest EDR technology. What people think that okay, by the time they get this EDR technology or XDR technology, they just go and sleep. With the data, if you spend like few minutes on the internet or know where to go to, you can easily evade some of these EDR because I've done some research on the top 2, 3 EDR based on the market. I realized that it's much more easier for you to conduct some evasion these days because of this technology. So offensive security is getting much easier. So that means that we need to also be sure that okay, we are safe because at times we're thinking that because you have this technology, you are safe. Meanwhile, as the technology is evolving, so the bad guys are also leveraging on various techniques to evade this technology. So evasion is easier. Offensive security is becoming more easier because there are more tactics, more tactics are out there that people can leverage on. Just have the basic knowledge and know how to leverage on the various technology, be it open source technology to get your job done. And also make sure also know how to we have the various community. As we are here, as the global community, the bad guys will have their own community too. They have their different ways by which they communicate. As we are having conference today have the session and all of that. And the things are technology that make things easier for you to get information, get knowledge, and do whatever thing that you want to do. So to me, I think it's much more. We need to be more careful and be very careful, exercise more cautious, and also make sure that we have a very robust cybersecurity posture. And as this technology as the offensive, so that means that we need to put on 2 hats, both the offensive hat and the defensive hat. We need to be very much more deliberate for us to be able to to stay abreast of this menace, of this threats. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate that insightful contribution. Our time is well spent because we also give time for audience to ask 1 or 2 questions. So the last question I have here, let me just drill it down to this last one. Both of you are going to speak on it. I think Fumi will go first. I know that prediction is not just about doomsday. This is going to happen. There's going to be this threat, that threat. What are those interesting things, those cutting edge technology that you feel that might come up this year?
Okay,
So Fumi,
so
you go first. Yeah.
okay, thank you. So I'll just talk about like 3 that just come at the top of my mind, and I think it's something that Zachariah has spoken extensively on the use of AI and machine learning in cybersecurity. It's going to make things a little easier and more efficient, but we should also take it at the back of our mind that as we are leveraging AI, machine learning, the bad guys too are also leveraging that. I think another thing that is actually good is the collaboration. I think a lot of people and organizations and even countries are seeing the need to collaborate. They are seeing more than ever that we need to collaborate in order to fight this battle. And yes, we've been talking about collaboration for a long time, but it's coming up. It's coming to the fore that there is need. And I think many governments are even going to spearhead these collaboration initiatives by forcing everybody within their jurisdiction to collaborate. Another thing that would be good is there will be more jobs. There are more jobs for cybersecurity professionals, more jobs, remote jobs, everything. So a lot of more money. That's very good. So cybersecurity is a very good time to take cybersecurity profession very seriously. There's there are more jobs, but scarcity of skills. So it's also a good time for us as security professionals to improve our skills, because even though a lot of people are going to cybersecurity, they are still at the initial level at this moment. And the faster you are able to upskill yourself, the faster you'll be able to gain the benefits of that. So more jobs, more collaboration, and I think it's an exciting time ahead for professionals at this point.
Yeah, thank you. So the faster I scale, the more opportunity for me. That's good one. Thank you very much. Yeah, Zachariah. Please.
All right, so thank you. Yeah, thank you. I think Fume has, as Fume has have said, there will be more opportunities, and yes, there are opportunities are there. Even though there are more opportunities, the people that can fill in the opportunity are really, really scarce. If you look at what is happening, especially in Africa, we have more talent drain, especially in the past 5 years, in the past 1 year than ever before. And there'll be more of it this year. That one is, we can't shy away from that, and there'll be more. And but the good thing about it that as a professional, you can decide to be wherever you want to be, and because there are more remote jobs out there, there are more opportunities on remote. You don't need to really be physically present in a particular location to get your job done, right? Not doing it because I mentioned that, okay, some few weeks back, an institution reached out to me. I wasn't there physically, and I thought that I will be there physically, but I actually delivered the lab without leaving leaving the country. And what that means that this year it will be more, if you don't work more on our detection engineering, it will be much more difficult for us to nail it. And maybe if you want for you to pinpoint to a particular cyber criminals, like what's happening actually in the past few weeks, past few months actually in the various industries, because somebody can sit down, as I'm sitting down here, maybe probably I'm Lagos today, I'm doing some sort of work for my clients in Canada, US. The bad guys who can also be sitting down somewhere in one of the Caribbean islands and be targeting Nigerian banks. And yes, they have because the collaboration with the cyber criminals are much more stronger than with the professional. That's why I like this kind of a forum that whereby we collaborate, because the bad guys, they have very strong network in various regions. The main actors might be somewhere far away. Meanwhile, they will just have some syndicates, and everywhere to, if there will be need for them to go into ATM machine to physically go and cash out and all of and all of that. So there are more opportunities more opportunities, yes. So for the good guys, then for the bad guys too, there will also be more opportunities from their end for them, because of this technology that they are leveraging on. I think my advice is that we need to make sure that we stay at least be ahead of the bad guys, because the game seems to be changing, and it's like the bad guys are running faster than we that call ourselves as cybersecurity professionals. So we are very, very few compared to the threats. We are very few. The field is that we need to do more on training. We need to do more on capacity development, so that as people are migrating, we are getting more because this year there will be more. There will be more migration. That one is sure banker, and there will be more. The few hands that you think that you are leveraging on, they will be less committed, because if so, just imagine somebody is doing like 2, 3, 4 remote jobs, and the person is not 100%, that attention is not there. So we need, in order to fill in that gap, we need to do more capacity development, more on training, more on and this time around, not at the organization, not at the individual level. Yes, some of us are doing stuff at the individual level. We need to do that at the maybe as an organization like IS Square, we need to do more, and different bodies need to do more. Different organizations need to be very deliberate. And then even at the academic level, we need to reach out there, maybe go at least partner with the institutions, with tertiary institutions, the polytechnics, the university, so that people will be well trained. Then there will also be need for collaboration between the academics and the industry, so that people will not just be teaching or cramming theories, and they will not be able to see how this thing operates. I think that will be more, we need to focus more on collaboration this year. So that's my own word of advice. Let's collaborate more, so together we can do it right. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. It has been a very insightful and thought-provoking session. We have just one question from our audience. You are free to raise up your hand if you have questions. We have a few minutes. Let's utilize it. The question says, how can individuals protect themselves as consumer of AI and ML, that's machine learning products, from attack and loss of valuables? Now, we've seen how organizations can protect themselves. Now, this question is asking, how can individuals protect themselves? So who will take this for us?
All right. Let me start before we can also.
Okay.
I know for me, work with different industries. We have a more broader, you have a more broader set of it. So to me, when you're talking of how can it be that, the question is dependent. Are you talking about the professionals as the professionals, or because individual can be techie individual, not techie individual? So for the normal, let me just presume that the question is talking to both the technical guys and non-technical guys. So for example, individual, if you're a customer of a particular bank, or you want to protect your privacy and all of that. So I think individual, how can we be more protected against this AI kind of attack? I think as an individual, we need to also understand the use of this technology. Because as an individual, some people don't like to use, some people just common, some just basic banking application. Maybe they'll be calling on third party. There was a time, I think this week, I went to do, I've never been, most of my all my transactions, 99.99% of my transactions, I do it online anyway. So, but I was trying to do this particular transaction because of the limit of my card. On my dump card, I have to physically go to one of the branches. Lo and behold, I see different customers. People are still struggling to use their mobile banking applications. They are asking, and that they've tried their neighbor to help them. Can you imagine? Can somebody, your neighbor, do you know the person you are dealing with? Yes. So I think as an individual, we need to embrace the use of technology. And as a cybersecurity professional, you need to embrace, for you to be able to, you need to understand this AI. You need to understand the nitty-gritty of AI for you to be able to come up with the countermeasure. What are the kind of attack that can be? It's not less that, okay, you want to be a network security engineer, you don't understand network administration, you don't understand OSI layer. We need to, as an individual, we need to go back to the basic. We need to understand the basic. We need to understand the basic of data engineering. We need to understand the basic of artificial intelligence. We need to understand and we'll go beyond the basic. as a professional, we need to go beyond the basic. We need to, if possible, be much more informed than the very bad guys and all of that. So I think during the course of the week, I was also telling my team members that okay, they need to step up. That we need to go to anybody that want to learn artificial intelligence, want to learn Python, want to learn everything. Go into the you need to understand, get your hands dirty if you're a technical guy and you want to really be able to get against. Encourage your team. If you are the leader, you don't have that time because most of the time we spend most of our time on strategy and all that. Encourage your team members to get their hands dirty. Get your hands dirty on artificial intelligence. Get your hands dirty in some Python programming, R language programming. To get your hands dirty in all of those. Because you get your hands, if you understand the technology, you're now able to come up, okay, be able to figure out how do you protect this technology. How do people protect the people that want to leverage on this technology? So, for example, someone that cannot write a simple SQL statement, and you want the person to go and carry out a database audit or to go and come up with a. So, how do we do that? You need to get back to the basic and even go beyond the basic, be at par at least with the with the kind in terms of knowledge, and even stay ahead, be ahead of these bad guys in terms of their knowledge acquisition. So there's no shortcut. I always tell people if you want to base, different people always come to me, they want to be a cybersecurity, they want to be a cybersecurity. Somebody, I think there's a few weeks back, somebody told me I want to be, it's a mission, a vision, and I want to become a CISO, blah, blah, blah. And I asked her, what have you been doing? What are you doing now? You need to start with the basic, start with the basics of technology, understand programming 101, understand C++ 101, go beyond, go do network 101, AI engineering 101, then go, you need to you need to tell ourselves the truth as a professional. So you can't be scratching the surface and you want to be dealing with some people that are already inside the deep of the water. You can't be swimming. If you want to catch a whale, you need to dive into the deep, go to the middle of the ocean. So that's where you see a whale. You don't see the whale at the surface of the ocean. You don't see you only see living organisms that can survive at the surface. You need to get into the deep. So that's just my advice on how to guide against artificial intelligence as a cybersecurity professional. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah. I think Leke has said a lot. I would just add one more thing. When you are dealing with many of these technologies, you have to understand them well, read whatever privacy restrictions on them, what information are they collecting from you, and what are you happy with that, and what are they going to use it for. That will help you to be able to know whether you are comfortable releasing sensitive information to them. Just to add to what Leke said.
Thank you very much. That was very thoughtful. Ayomide, your hands is raised. Can you just ask your question so that I believe this might be the last question for today because we spent a whole lot of time on this. So you can unmute and speak, please.
Oh, yeah. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity, sir. So, I'll just go very quickly with my question. It's on the question really is not directed at any of the speakers. I think it's just a general question for everyone in the house. So, it's really about what measures we can take or has been taken on ground already that can foster an inclusive collaboration, for cybersecurity when it comes to Nigeria. And I'm asking this because I'm currently in the United Arab Emirates, and I'm a cybersecurity professional, a young professional though, but I have a couple of years of experience in cybersecurity, and I've discovered that the method at which this country, specifically the UAE, and this is not to say there are other countries, developed countries. I always, because I also attended a kind of conference, a meeting like this, where we were encouraged not to, speak about our countries like Nigeria as an underdeveloped country, because we have the capacity, we have the, the enablement to also be developed. But I see the type of approach that this, me, especially here in the UAE, they adopt in, fostering collaboration. You see institutions, partaking in things like CTFs, hackathons, things like this. And I really haven't seen that. And to be honest, I'm asking this question also on behalf of my community, because I have a community, a cybersecurity community, where I train people who are interested in cybersecurity certifications from technical and from the non-technical side. And especially on X, on Twitter, for instance, I get a lot of DMs, so many that I won't even responded to. So this just shows that there's a gap between the professionals and those who want to actually be in this field. And coupled with the fact that we have a lot who are also interested in transitioning from their already existing, careers or wherever it is that they presently work in, into cybersecurity and, that environment where they can be able to, transition smoothly. Then secondly, sorry, very quickly, also, I was opportune to speak with the essay to the governor of Ocean State, because I raised a kind of awareness on Twitter pertaining, including cybersecurity as a curriculum into, primary schools there. And then, yeah, I mean, starting from there, because just like one of the speakers said, which, he really gave an insightful view on that. He spoke about, I mean, at some level of maybe employees or whoever not being able to write certain codes or things. But I feel like if there's a way we can actually gather these talents or train these talents from younger age, even including, things like, coding and the likes into their curriculum, just giving them that awareness why they grow and then learn these things. I think by the time they, actually get to certain stages, they can for themselves maybe decide what path they want to take. And of course, because cybersecurity is a very broad path, it's not just, I mean, so many people like to say cybersecurity, but we also need to understand that there are different, fields in cybersecurity, networking, network security, cloud security, and the likes. So that's just my question, how we can bridge this gap between, those who are, let me just say, off the field and on the field. I hope I was able to really lay my question right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. Who can quickly, briefly respond to his question?
Okay, let me start. So, for us to bridge the gap, I think what we can do as an individual or as an organization, what else? You've also answered the question indirectly that we need to make sure that cybersecurity is incorporated into the curriculum, especially at the elementary stage, from the primary school, from the secondary school, and also, and then from the university school. And what we can do as a body, maybe IC Square or every different other body, we can also collaborate with the various institutions to help them develop the curriculum, so that to ensure that the curriculum has a to ensure that the curriculum the content of the curriculum can actually deal with the business cyber threat. I'm happy with the way, I think at the polytechnic level, the MBT, those of people are against it, that instead of people to be doing maybe study computer science, the computer science should be split. Maybe you go for can go for cyber security engineering, can go for artificial intelligence, can go for and all of that. And people should not just be studying; they should start focus doing something specialized and all of that. But where we come in, we can help them by developing the content, or also help them to review the content. At least as we speak, I think I have about 2 Nigerian institutions that are currently that are engaging me on how to make sure that okay, we infuse what's really obtainable in the field, so that everything not just be academic, and also we can also help them to set up lab. We can also help them to set up lab, and also without even spending a dime. There are a lot of open source technology that they can leverage on for firewalling and for different media. We have open media. We have so many stuff that they can leverage on open DNS and all of that. I think we can do collaborate with the schools. We can also, therefore, individuals that want to navigate there, we need to also let them realize that they need to understand the basic. Yes, I know that if you're a professional, different people will want to buzz you that, oh, how do we start and all of that. So we can also leverage. You can also pinpoint them to what there are a lot of open learning platforms that they can. For example, if anybody want to learn penetration testing, there's a lot of hackables. You can go to, you can subscribe to hackables, try me hack. A lot of a learning platform that you can leverage on. Even if you want to be so specific on a particular technology, for example, you want to be sound in Azure security. Microsoft have a lot of Microsoft Learn. You can go to Learn to Microsoft. All those kind of stuff we can guide people and beyond the guide. And if you have this kind of a forum, and I believe that whenever we have this kind of a forum, we can also let people this kind of a forum serve like kind of an environment where people can come and also people will be guided on how they can navigate through the cybersecurity career. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Mr. Ayomide, I believe you must have had gotten one or two insight from the answer. I believe that is the question you asked. That is the real essence why the IC Square Nigerian chapter is here. We are trying as best as we can to ensure that we form that ecosystem whereby we can assist each and every one of us, cybersecurity professionals and those coming up, mentor them so that we become a very strong and indivisible cybersecurity professional associates. Thank you so much. I know that if we have to go on, 1 hour will be enough for us to discuss what 2024 hold for us. So we'll be calling it a day for today. But before we wrap up, please let's hear one or two words from our president, Mr. Timileyin.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, all right, thank you. And I want to say a very big thank you to our esteemed panelists. Thank you, Mrs. Odumoboni. Thank you, Mr. Kimpelu, for honoring our invitation to the first program of this year, which talks about the 2024 forecast around cybersecurity. I know we are all, one way or the other, yearning towards starting the year on a great footing, and this is what we all wish for. And we are only creating a community that will ensure that these bad guys are out and they are not blocking our way to prosperity. All right, so on this note, our time has been fast spent. I want to say thank you so much to our panelists. Thank you to everyone that has made time to join. I can see Chinatu, I can see Samuel, Samson. Thank you so much to our directors that have also joined. It was indeed a great session. I joined early on, but I had to quickly opt out, but I'm back here again. I want to say thank you to everyone. Thank you to everybody that is committed to the cause of protecting the Nigerian cyberspace. And I know that together we will win. So many programs are bound to be rolled out very soon. And we want everyone to participate, everyone to also commit to doing something to either connect or educate or secure the cyberspace. All right, to this end, we would like to take a group picture. All right, please, we would like everyone to put on their videos. I hope we all have permission to, yes, thank you. Please put on your videos. So let's take a group photograph for the records and also with our esteemed panelists. Not all the time we get our esteemed panelists like that. So let's quickly take a group photograph of everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you, Benga Ogunleye. Thank you, Ajiboyo Irinde. Thank you, Olaraji Said. Shadrach Akom. Thank you so much. Shadrach comes to us from Army. Thank you, Dorcas Adesoye. Thank you, Omozusi, Oluwaseun, Ayokunmi, Idris. Frank, Samuel, I hope you're taking the pictures. Benson, thank you all the way. Chinatu, thank you so much. Good to have you on the call. All right. Michael, Adibari, Amola, thank you all for joining this session. Okay, I guess we've taken quite some good pictures. So thank you once again for coming. Thank you, Gifts. God bless you all and have a lovely day. Just watch out. If you are not yet on our WhatsApp group, please ensure you register and be part of this great move. Thank you so much and have a lovely day.